take you back to a time when I felt completely disconnected from my own spirit. I was going through what I can only describe as a wounded season. Life felt heavy, the joy I once knew was distant, and the person I saw in the mirror each day seemed like a stranger. I was carrying the weight of old hurts, disappointments, and broken dreams. Have you ever felt like that? Like your spirit is aching for healing, for a release? If that resonates with you, if you've ever felt that deep longing to heal and reclaim your inner power, then this is for you. Today, we're diving into the heart of what it means to heal those wounds on a soul level. You might ask, is quick spiritual soul healing even possible? And I believe it is. It can be as simple as opening up and allowing that process to begin. I want to invite you to stay open as we go through this journey together. Let's set aside the doubts, the distractions, and focus on giving our spirits a moment to heal. As we move through each slide today, I encourage you to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. So, are you ready to explore what it takes to truly heal and reclaim the power that's already within you? To tap into a peace and strength that's been waiting for you to reach out? If so, let's begin this journey of healing together, one step at a time. Why are you here? There was a time in my life when I felt stuck, lost, and completely disconnected from my purpose. I remember waking up one morning with an overwhelming heaviness, questioning why I felt so out of place in my own life. No amount of external success or approval could fill the void inside me. That's when I knew I needed to make a change. I turned inward and began asking myself, what lights me up? What brings me joy and peace? Slowly, as I spent more time in prayer and self reflection, I discovered that my purpose wasn't something I had to create, it was something I needed to uncover. Like a treasure buried deep within, it had been there all along, waiting for me to dig through the noise of life to find. That journey not only led me to my purpose, but taught me to help others reconnect with theirs. If you feel stuck, lost, or disconnected, know that this feeling is often a signpost. It's your spirit's way of telling you that there's a deeper calling awaiting your attention. The first step is to quiet the external distractions and listen to the whispers of your soul. Ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? What activities or moments give me peace and fulfillment? What breaks my heart and makes me want to help or heal? These questions can guide you toward the path your soul is longing to take. These questions can guide you toward the path your soul is yearning to take. Here's a simple tool to start reconnecting with your purpose. Spend 5 minutes each morning writing down one thing you're grateful for and one thing you're curious about exploring further. Ask for a journal prompt. Answer the question, if I could do anything today without fear or limitation, what would it be? Soul connection exercise. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and visualize yourself living a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. What are you doing? Who are you helping? What emotions fill your heart? These small but powerful steps can help you rediscover the truth of who you are and the purpose you are meant to fulfill. And who am I? I'm Reverend Teresa Heipel. I went to seminary and I've earned a Master of Divinity with Counseling Ministry. I have been a pulpit pastor. I have been a hospital chaplain. I have been a spiritual counselor. And now I'm bringing forth the Great Soul Awakening. I wasn't always a healer. My life was once marked by struggles that many of you might find familiar: physical challenges, spiritual disconnect, and a feeling of being stuck. I walked through valleys I didn't think I'd ever emerge from, faced health battles that shook my faith, and found myself questioning the very foundation of who I was. But I discovered that every wound, every challenge was part of a greater path, a path that would eventually lead me to help others find healing. Today, I serve people who want to restore their soul, who may be feeling disenfranchised from the traditional church but still spiritual, someone who wants to find connection within. I'm here to guide, to support, and to share the insights that have transformed my own life. My mission is to help you reconnect with the power within, to bring healing to the roots of your challenges, and to walk alongside you on this journey. My vision is to create a safe, loving space for those who are ready to find peace and purpose. The state of the soul today. There are many things that can cause soul loss. Trauma. I'm not talking about the stuff that you go to the hospital for. Trauma can be little digs, people that needle you in certain ways. It could even be a parent who doesn't agree with you because you're a girl or because you're a boy and you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that because of whatever, And so those little traumas often add up to have little holes in our soul. And so that's a soul loss. Grief and loss could be grief over a pet, a parent, a grief over a lost relationship, a fractured relationship, could be the loss of someone near and dear to you. That can cause soul loss. Toxic relationships. How many of you end up in the same type of relationship over and over and over again? That can cause soul loss. Addictions. Alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever. You've got all of these different addictions that happen and you need to get past that. When someone betrays you, whether you're the one who's betraying someone else or someone has betrayed you, that's a problem that can cause soul loss. Loss of status. You might have lost a job. You might have gotten into retirement and now you don't have this nice job anymore. And you're like, now I don't know who I am because my identity was with my job. Well, stop doing that because that's not going to get you where you need to be. Your status comes from within. And then you might be in a spiritual crisis. You go, I used to go to this kind of church when I was growing up. I find it doesn't resonate with me anymore. And now I'm at a spiritual crisis. I don't know what to do. So that's why I'm here, is to help you go through all of these different things. Your soul is calling you. Are you listening? The Great Soul Awakening, we're going to talk about there was a time in the not too distant past where I was actually feeling unfulfilled. Wrong relationships, wrong jobs, wrong businesses, nothing was working. I'd have the same type of relationship, jobs that I'm good at, not fulfilled, seeking something deeper, something that gives true meaning in my life, so much that I experienced all types of restlessness. I'd get in my own way to being successful and feeling unfulfilled. Any of you ever feel like that? So we're going on a great soul awakening. And so true healing is going to happen when we get to the root of the problem. So I would hope you would want to find out what the root of the problem is, because there's something going on and you're not sure why you have these different actions and reactions. It could have been something that happened to you as a baby. It could be something that happened to past generations and you're feeling it and you're the one who happily or unhappily gets to deal with it, so this pattern doesn't get repeated in the next generations. The consequences of ignoring your soul. Consequences of ignoring your soul. Anxiety. I've heard often anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is about worrying about the past. Chronic patterns. Patterns that are not fulfilling you. Patterns that are destructive to you, but they're chronic. And disconnection from relationships. This is what happens when you ignore your soul's calling. And I'm not talking about disconnection from relationships. It's all kinds of relationships. It's not just a romantic relationship. It's disconnection on all different levels. From pain to purpose, your journey to healing and transformation. Right now you're feeling stuck. You're repeating patterns and all that. We're going to get you unstuck. Right now things feel heavy in life. We're going to get you to connection where things feel lighter and brighter and freer. Right now you feel like you're in your own prison. You're held captive. We're going to release you out of your prison. We go from unseen and undervalued to being seen and valued. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. This verse has been an anchor in my life. There was a time in my life when I was preparing to have major surgery. I knew the outcome I wanted, and I knew healing was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to happen the way I had envisioned or if it was going to be a different outcome. But I knew that healing was coming. And I meditated on this day and night because I wasn't sure what the outcome at the end of it would be, but I was preparing. I had several months to prepare for this surgery because there was all kinds of tests that had to happen beforehand. So if you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. If you have tried everything that you know, but you still feel stuck, this is for you. There is nothing that's going to help you more than a great soul awakening. I will guarantee you progress and feeling better. Here's a simple tool to start reconnecting with your purpose. Spend 5 minutes each morning writing down one thing you're grateful for and one thing you're curious about exploring further. Ask for a journal prompt. Answer the question, if I could do anything today without fear or limitation, what would it be? As a soul connection exercise, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and visualize yourself living a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. What are you doing? Who are you helping? What emotions fill your heart? These small but powerful steps can help you rediscover the truth of who you are and the purpose you are meant to fulfill in life, because you're deserving of good changes in your life. So what does it mean to heal? Oftentimes when we think of healing, we think about physical healing, but it's much more than that. It's much deeper than that. To heal means to liberate totally your emotions, your mental state, psychological state, physical, spiritual, all kinds of states. We're going to release all of that. We're going to heal you totally. We're going to liberate you totally. And the healing is going to happen through the liberation. Healing is not curing. I have a cold. I've had a cold. I do not have a cold today, but that doesn't mean I won't get a cold sometime down the road. So I may be healed of a cold today, but a cold may be coming down the road sometime. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open. For everyone who asks receives. Those who seek will find. And the person who knocks, the door is going to be opened. It says that in Scripture. Matthew 7 and 8. Matthew chapters 5 through 7 is the Sermon on the Mount. You know, we use the word inspire, but we often don't think about where the word comes from. It comes from the Latin, to be inspired, to be fulfilled. When we're living in spirit, when we are inspired to do something, that is God speaking to us. Yes, God is still speaking. And yes, to be in spirit, when you're inspired, when you're feeling like, oh, I need to go do this wonderful thing, go do it. If you're inspired to do something terrible to someone, that's not of God. If you're in spirit, if you're flowing, you're in spirit, you're inspired. So the transformation is awaiting you. After your great soul awakening, you're going to experience peace, joy, clarity, purpose, and healing. We've already talked about peace, joy. Joy should be residing within. Happiness is on the outside. Joy comes from within. Clarity, you're going to become very clear on what you're going to be. Purpose, your purpose may have changed throughout your life. When you got married at a young age, your purpose was X, Y, and Z. And now you're getting to a different purpose because those things have already transpired, they've happened, they've come to an end, and now we're getting to a different purpose. And throughout this whole process, healing is going to be happening from the inside out. And that's what the transformation is going to be happening. By the way, God only knows us as whole. We see ourselves as fractured, as lacking, like there's something not right with us. God only sees us as whole human beings. God did not make mistakes when he made us. You have to realize God is still in control. God only knows us as whole, perfect, works in progress. And we are perfectly perfect the way God designed us. We are not perfect beings. I came into this world having health issues. Got rid of them. But God only sees us as whole. The Great Soul Awakening experience, this is a sacred time for you because you're going to get deep within your soul and you're going to resonate things that you maybe have never even thought of. You know, you could have been a gymnast in your younger years in school. What was that feeling like when you were free and bouncing around and doing these gymnastics? Artists, architects, engineers, doctors, dentists, beggars, begging groceries, those, not beggars, not B-E-G-G, B-A-G-G. So beggars, you could be at the grocery store, being a checker outer, whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you're doing it with purpose and with love, you're doing what Spirit wants for you to do. You're going to be healing from the inside out. You know, those who have a beautiful outside but a terrible inside, you know, those who have always been snarky and putting people down, yet they're gorgeous on the outside, but once you start knowing their personality, it's like, oh, I need to move away. We're going to be empowering you in all aspects of life, because as you start healing, things are going to start coming to your realization, and you're going to go, wow, I had no idea that that was going to be happening. And boy, am I ever lit up and alive now. And that's what this world needs, lit up and alive people. So the Great Soul Awakening is a 6-month personal guidance program. We're going to be transforming your life, improving every relationship. We're going to be restoring your truth, identifying the cause of your soul loss. And all the things we've already talked about are some soul loss things. Even an alarm clock that's blaring at you. You're so nice and comfy in bed and you're sleeping so well. And then all of a sudden this jarring noise comes to you. And it's like, boy, that just really didn't make me feel very good. So that's a soul loss. Releasing and resolving karmic debts. Karmic debts are often like mirrors to ourselves. They're having us see who we are, the good and the bad and the ugly. And a lot of us have a lot of really good things going on. But all the things that are good, if you just flip it a little bit, it becomes a negative. If you're a perfectionist, that's great. When you work in accounting or you're doing music, that's great. But when you expect your children to be perfect or expect yourself to be perfect, you're putting a lot of stress on yourself. So we're going to resolve and release those things. And we're also going to be fostering and strengthening functional families. And yes, I do believe LGBTQIA people are very functional family forms. Your spiritual journey, you're going to be walking away from pain. You're going to be walking to freedom and wholeness. I was working with Deb, and she was walking away from pain. She came to me. She goes, Teresa, I need some healing work done. I said, tell me what's going on. She goes, well, she said, when I was younger, and she's probably in her 40s now, when I was younger and having babies, my babies were taken away from me for a time, and I had to fight to get them back. She said, and I'm dating the wrong kind of person now, and if anything needs to happen, I've got to be the one that plans it because he doesn't plan things. And there was just a lot of other things. And then I did my healing work on her and helped her with her spiritual journey through the Great Soul Awakening. And she contacted me later and she goes, wow. She goes, I feel like glorious how I really feel. And it's like, yes, I'm so happy that things are working out for her and that she's becoming more alive again, which is what she needs. When we feel alive, that's inspiration. That's how we get to inspiration on the soul level. While psychologists focus on emotional and mental well-being through evidence-based therapies, my approach combines faith, spiritual wisdom, and energy healing to address the root causes of struggles rather than just the symptoms. I'm going to be guiding you through healing that reconnects you with your soul and divine purpose, tapping into your spiritual core to create lasting change. If you're a Christian and you're disillusioned with traditional frameworks, then this is going to resonate deeply. The work I do encompasses not just the mind and emotions, but also the spiritual and energetic aspects of a person's being. This is going to offer you a more complete transformation, allowing you to experience healing in areas that you might not even have realized were blocked. I've tapped into the power of spirit. I've transformed into being guided by intuition and spirit, offering personalized care that clients can't always find in conventional therapy. I am available to you 40 hours a week, whereas your therapist, if you're going to one, you get a 50-minute session once a week. And I'm here for you 40 hours a week at www.healingwiththerev.com. We can jump on a Zoom call, we can talk, see if this is a right fit for you. May you always be blessed.